Hi, we're Kaylee and Sam, and in May of 2021 we decided to buy ourselves an empty Sprinter van. It's taken us a long time to get here, but please like, subscribe and follow along to see how we turn this empty van into our dream home on wheels. So, as you all have just seen, getting home was not easy last time. We left a little bit later than normal, but we always leave late. Set off to go home and completely break down. It was like a country road as well, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. Just got like a red light came up on the dash, which is never a good sign. I've not seen it before, but and you immediately
red always
know.
means scary, doesn't
and it wasn't
like,
just
red
like
means bad.
It wasn't just like a little red dot. Like the entire LED rectangle just went red and just said like stop driving now. I was like,
any warning sign that comes up with stop driving is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
So we stopped driving straight away. I mean, I've never broken down before either, so it was a bit of a scary situation.
No, I've never broken down like that. I've been in like a crash or something. You had to get out, but I've never been in a car that's broken down. And then you can't just because normally you'd be able to just leave straight after that sort of. So so it was interesting. The thing said check coolant and stop driving.
Engine too hot or something, wasn't it?
It just said check coolant. I think it was basically it was like the coolant symbol. So check the coolant, and there looks to be enough in there, but it's quite hard to tell because there's a max and a min line, but it's like a sort of.
It's an older van, isn't it?
Because
it's hard to see.
I think the sort of it's in like a sort of bowl, sort of like a spherical thing. I think it must have used to be sort of fairly translucent. You used to obviously be able to see the line against them in the max, but basically it's become opaque just because it's older. So you can't really see where the line is. So I can see the max and the min, but I've no idea where the liquid is. So you can obviously see in the top, but then you can't see the max and the min line in comparison to it. So we basically just had to go and buy some coolant and then just pour some in basically and hope that was it. And it basically that wasn't it. The issue kept coming up, so we were like, there's definitely enough coolant in here. And I drove around, the issue kind of came back up, and then we kind of opened the bonnet and you could feel that it wasn't hot. We basically spoke to a mechanic who said if for that light to come on, for you to genuinely overheat your car,
such a big warning light to come on.
He's basically saying so that warning light makes sense, but if it was an overheating issue, then you'd have melting plastic and stuff before you'd be able to tell.
You wouldn't be able to touch it, and you were able to touch it, weren't you?
By opening the bonnet you'd be able to see if it was overheating, which it obviously wasn't. So basically I was then thinking, so I suggested maybe it was an issue with a sensor or something, and maybe it wasn't actually overheating, but it just thought it was. But even if I'd had the confidence to go with that gut feeling, I still couldn't have driven it home because it went into limp home mode. So we could basically drive at 10 miles an hour, which was really horrible.
It was such a pain. These country roads as well. It was in Yorkshire because we were still trying to leave Sam's parents. So they are busy country roads, and you're in a massive van. No one can overtake you. It's not on a motorway or something. There's nothing you can do. So we drove with the warning lights on back to the house.
Yeah.
But you were not comfy.
No, I didn't like it. It just felt so embarrassing. I had my hazards on. So I wasn't doing anything wrong. I pulled over wherever I could to let people pass because I just felt awkward.
It's
but I was just
I could just, isn't it?
I just imagine someone behind me in a rush for something really important, just why is this van driving 10 miles an hour? This is really annoying. I was I don't want to be that guy. But there's nothing I could have done about it. We did all we could, and we got it. Basically, took it to a garage in Knaresborough, which is near Harrogate, and they were really good. They
were
ordered
amazing.
We told them the issue, and they said they thought it was this sensor, so they ordered the sensor before we even arrived. And when we got there, they fitted it, and we were out the same day, weren't we?
We got really lucky, so we managed to get home the next day, which was great because I had to phone in to work and said I couldn't get there. So being able to get back the next day was massively helpful, and they were really, really good garage. So I think we might always leave it down below, can't we? Because for anyone that's local to Harrogate, Knaresborough, Yorkshire in general, and has a big van, it can be really hard to find garages. So.
Definitely, yeah. We've had a few rubbish garages, but this was a really good one. Really friendly, reasonable price, very, very quick. Seemed to know what they were talking about as well. And
they could accommodate the big vehicle. That's been a massive issue we've had, is that people just can't accommodate it. They don't have the sort of like the lift to have it, or a hole big enough for it. So
yeah, you need to have we'll
put the name down below in the description, because we couldn't recommend them all, could we? Really?
No, brilliant. Yeah, we like, if we have like servicing or an MOT, like we will go up there, won't we? Rather than
we'd rather just go up and like visit family. For the
we already have a reason to be near there. So.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that was our little breakdown drama. Everything's fine now. This isn't the first issues we've had with the vans, but I think we might leave that for maybe a separate video when we talk about finances and things, because it's just too much to get into now.
Yeah, they're all good stories though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Once you get past it, it's just like something funny that happened. In the moment though, I think Kaylee's getting a bit delusional, just on the side of the road singing, just try and get through it.
That's something we didn't mention. Like, you can see that I'm in my coat and stuff. It was bloody freezing.
It was so cold.
It was so cold, but we're back now. We're moving past it. We're not going to think about it anymore. It's going to be fine. And, yeah.
And shout out to my dad and sister who came and rescued us with hot chocolates.
Yeah, that was really helpful.
That was appreciated.
That was really helpful. But yeah, we will continue on with the van.
So today was the day where we install the fans. First job was to measure where we were going to put the fan, and then draw a square, measuring it several times because you don't want to cut a big hole and then realise it's too big for the fan. And then I grabbed my drill with a step drill attachment and cut holes into the corners so that I could get the jigsaw in, and then cut a nice big square out of our van roof, which was quite scary. And then because of the channels of metal going down the van, I had to use some sealant strips in order to just kind of level it all out so that it was nice and flat for me to then put some sealant on, which then meant I could get the frame for the fan stuck onto the roof. After screwing that in, put some more sealant on top of the screws, and then clipped the fan onto the frame. It's quite hard to line this bit up because the hole for the frame and the hole for the fan don't seem to line up, but it does eventually. It's just quite fiddly. But once that was on, could screw it in, and then we had a fan. Just needed to be wired up and another one to be installed.
So, as you guys have just seen through all those clips, I was ill the last 2 days. Get over COVID and then get a sickness bug was not ideal. But Sam did amazing. And he's put in the 2 fans, which you can kind of see there behind me. There's one there, one a little bit further back. So he did that by himself, which I think was quite impressive, really, because it's quite hard to sit on the roof of a van, measure, cut a hole, fit a fan all by yourself. Like, you would have seen from the clips, like, it's not easy, is it? So
no, the second one was easier than the first one because I knew what to do by that point. But it was also, it had been raining, so it was also just soaking wet up there, which is not very pleasant. So that probably helped me do it a lot quicker. So
yeah, definitely.
Probably did about 2 hours maybe for the second one. So not too bad.
But yeah, it was just a little bit frustrating because we came to Harrogate with a few days holiday to try and get the most of the space and get stuff done. And Sam had to do it by himself. So we're on our last day today, so we're going to try and make it worth it. And we've got a lot planned. So the idea is that we went to the timber shop yesterday. So we have picked up all the plywood and all of the 2x1s to build our shower, which will be here behind me. You can kind of see on the floor. We're doing a little blue square to point where it's going to be. So we've got our shower going there. And then we have started on our bed back here. So sort of see these bits down here on the walls. That's going to be where the bed's going to go. So plan today, I think, is to try and get both of them done, right? Maybe?
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, I think we'll definitely get the bed done and see what we can do with the shower. But it's miserable weather. So
it always is, but yeah. So we've just been sort of in the van, doors shut, carrying on with everything we need to do. So we've started, getting the bed frame and stuff, which I'll show you properly in a bit. But Sam's just gone outside to cut a little bit of wood that needed trimming, and it's snowing. So that just kind of shows British weather that we started this bit of drizzle, and you can see Sam just absolutely covered in snow.
2 days ago, I was on the roof putting the fan in the sun. One day ago I was doing the fan in the rain, and today it's snowing.
It's like properly so, like it is settling a little bit, so that's great. And like I just looked through the windscreen and that's all covered, so proper British weather. So the van conversion in this weather isn't easy all the time. You definitely kind of have to jump while the weather's good. So I am glad you got the fans in while it was still nice and...
good timing really, isn't it? Right.
Yeah, like happy about this now.
First step of the bed building. So we've got this MDF board, which we put up against the walls. A lot of people bolt these brackets like straight into the metal, but we wanted to go slightly higher than the horizontal bit of metal. So basically what we've done is we've just put this MDF up, we've sort of bolted it into the metal where we can, so it's like properly secure, it's definitely not going anywhere. Then we've got these brackets from IKEA, they actually give them for free if you've got the part number, which you can put in the description, and then they just send them to you, you don't even have to pay postage, which is good. So they're just going to like bolt on, we've got 6 of them, so 3 on each side, and then these sort of mid beams that you get from IKEA, sort of 20 quid each, we've got 3 of those. So they're just going to slot in, they're extendable, so you don't need to worry about welding or cutting through metal, and it's a lot stronger than wood would be. And then we've got these slats which we're going to put across, drill them in, should be sorted. So yeah, feeling quite confident because this is more secure than we thought we'd do. We basically just bolted all the way around, went a bit overkill, but we thought, you know, we don't want it to break. So
no, it does feel really strong, definitely.
So yeah, next step is to put the brackets in, and then we've got these bolts to coach screws, so nice and strong.
Yeah, it's all slightly thicker screws and bolts than like standard wood ones. It's yeah, looks good. Right, let's crack on. So, the bed is done. It's exciting. Wow. Well, it's done, and we're going to call it a win.
We've proved the concept, so you know, just got to do the other 4 brackets and 2 beams. But we've got one beam in, so and it can support me.
We ordered, you know, a little test of having a swing, sitting on it, making sure, and that's one beam. So I feels really good.
Yeah, when it's going to, you know, the weight's going to be spread out because we're going to have slats on there, so it's going to be spread out between at least 2 beams, depending on which side of the bed you're on, or 3 beams. So yeah. So the plan is we've got the one here, as you can see, and then we'll have another one this end, further end, and then also closer to us. So 3 spread across in slats as a normal bed would have. But yeah, so we're putting some clips now of like a close up with the bed, but yeah, the idea was to kind of, I don't know, have the MDF on these sides, sort of holding and doing the brackets and stuff onto this, because it makes more sense. We want this under the garage area anyway. There's no point using cladding there because it's more money when you're not even going to see it. So yeah, we just wedged behind some 2x1 because we use 2x1 timber for these sort of struts. So we knew it was the same width. So if you put these 2x1s down here, then you know we've got a flat surface to kind of bolt it in against, so it's not kind of flapping or coming away or anything like that. And some of it, we kind of worked out where the metal was, so some of it's straight into metal, and some of it's into these wooden struts. So it's nice and secure.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's a slightly different design to what some people do in terms of using the MDF. So I think it worked well. I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah, I kind of winged it, but you know, I feel good about it.
Looks good. We really hope you enjoyed this week's video. Join us next week where we finally get around to starting that shower and our walls start to look less spaceship and more camper van.